Coming again to Mendel's work now. After crossing pea plants to study the inheritance of single character, that is monohybrid cross, Mendel moved one step forward. He now conducted crosses to study the inheritance of two characters at a time, and this type of cross is called dihybrid cross. It is mention worthy that on crossing pea plants, all the 7 characters of parents are passed to the next generations. But to simplify the studies, Mendel focused on inheritance of one character or two characters at a time. When Mendel crossed true breeding pea plants with round yellow seeds, that is plant is homozygous for both the traits, capital RR, capital YY. With the true breeding pea plant having wrinkled green seeds, that is both recessive traits in the homozygous condition, small rr, small yy. Each gamete will receive one allele from each gene pair. So you can see here, this is the gene pair capital RR, and the gamete receives one capital R and one capital Y from this YY gene pair. Similarly, on the other side, this is the gene pair small rr, and a gamete receives one small r and one small y from this YY gene pair, such that each gamete is having information for the seed color as well as seed shape. On fertilization of gametes, all F1 plants obtained were heterozygous dominant for round yellow seeds. So you can see here, all F1 plants obtained produced round yellow seeds, and the genotype is capital R, capital Y, small y. Then F1 plants were self-pollinated, that is F1 selfing. Here each parent produces 4 different types of gametes. 4 male gametes, 4 female gametes. And these gametes have all the possible combinations of RY alleles, that is one gamete with both capital R, capital Y, another gamete with one small r and capital Y, and next gamete with capital R and small y, and last of all both the alleles are recessive, small r, small y. Similarly, other parent also produces the gametes with the similar composition of the alleles. After fertilization, the probable genotypes of the F2 plants are shown in this Punnett square. We obtain F2 plants with 4 different phenotypes: round yellow, round green, wrinkled yellow, wrinkled green, in the ratio of 9:3:3:1. One more example of dihybrid cross. A true breeding pea plant homozygous for axial violet flowers, that is capital AA, capital VV. When crossed with true breeding pea plant with terminal white flowers with genotype small aa, small vv, gamete formation occurred such that each gamete receives one allele from each gene pair, and in this case capital A, capital V, and in other parent small a, small v. Encircle the gametes. On fertilization, all F1 plants produced have axial violet flowers, and they are heterozygous for the traits, that is capital A, capital V, small v. On selfing F1 plants, 4 types of gametes formed by each parent with all the possible combinations of alleles, that is capital A, capital V, capital A, small v, small a, capital V, and small a, small v. Encircle the gametes. Similarly, the other parent also forms the gametes with the same genotype, that is capital A, capital V, capital A, small v, small a, capital V, and small a, small v. So all the possible combinations of the alleles are shown. Encircle the gametes. Then probability of fusion of gametes is shown in the Punnett square with 4 rows and 4 columns. 4 different types of phenotypic characters were obtained in F2 plants. Maximum plants produced axial violet flowers. These all plants have axial violet flowers. Some of them produced axial white flowers. These 3 of them have axial white flowers. And some produced terminal violet flowers. And very few produced terminal white flowers. So the phenotypic ratio of F2 generation obtained was 9:3:3:1. And the genotypic ratio obtained was 1:2:1:2:2:1:2:1:1. To learn the genotypic ratio, we can remember that on extreme ends the ratio is 1:2:1, and in the middle is the sum of these two ratios, that is 2:4:2. You need not learn the genotypes, but you must know the phenotypic ratio and phenotypes of F2 generation. Here we see that these F2 plants resembled the parent, and this also resembled the parent. But these two F2 plants are having new phenotypic characters. They are having new combinations of phenotypic characters. This combination of phenotypic characters was not found in the parental types. On the basis of his observations on dihybrid cross, Mendel proposed third law of inheritance, that is, law of independent assortment. According to this law, when two pairs of traits are combined in a hybrid, segregation of one pair of character is independent of the other pair of character. Let us assume that in a hybrid, one pair of trait is for seed shape, that is capital R small r, and another pair of trait is for seed color, that is capital Y small y. So the separation of capital R small r is independent of the separation of capital Y small y during gamete formation, such that each gamete receives R and Y alleles in all the 4 possible combinations, that is capital R capital Y, capital R small y, small r capital Y, and small r small y. According to this law, capital R does not have affinity for capital Y. Capital R may pair with capital Y or small y. This is what law of independent assortment states. R alleles will not interfere in the inheritance of Y alleles. Both are assorted independently during gamete formation. Now, to know the zygosity of the individuals with two pairs of dominant traits, Mendel performed dihybrid test cross similar to the one he performed to know the unknown genotype of a dominant trait. To know the genotype of parent P1 having two pairs of dominant traits, which may be homozygous, that is capital AA, capital BB, or may be heterozygous, that is capital A, capital B, small b. Mendel crossed it with a parent P2 having two pairs of recessive traits with genotype small aa, small bb, and looked for the traits obtained in the offsprings of F1 generation to conclude his observations. Possibility 1. Mendel crossed parent P1 having ground yellow seeds with parent P2 having wrinkled green seeds. And if in F1 generation he obtained all plants producing round yellow seeds, then he concluded that parent P1 is homozygous, that is capital R, capital Y for both pairs of traits. Possibility 2. If on crossing parent P1 having ground yellow seeds With parent P2 having wrinkled green seeds, Mendel obtained 4 types of F1 plants, that is round yellow, round green, wrinkled yellow, wrinkled green in the ratio of 1:1:1:1:1. Then the parent P1 is heterozygous, that is capital R, capital Y, small y for both the pairs of traits. This is a dihybrid test cross with both phenotypic and genotypic ratios of 1:1:1:1:1. A quick look on various types of crosses and their phenotypic and genotypic ratios. Monohybrid cross, phenotypic ratio 3:1 and genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. But monohybrid test cross has 1:1 phenotypic ratio as well as genotypic ratio. Dihybrid cross has phenotypic ratio of 9:3:3:1 and genotypic ratio of 1:2:1, 2:4:2:1:2:1. Dihybrid test cross has both phenotypic and genotypic ratio of 1:1:1:1. Incomplete dominance also has same phenotypic and genotypic ratio of 1:2:1. Mendel published all his work on inheritance of characters in 1865, but for several reasons it remained unrecognized till 1900. So let us discuss why Mendel's work remained unrecognized for so many years. Firstly, communication was not easy in those days and his work could not be widely publicized. His concept of genes or factors, in Mendel's words, as stable and discrete units was not accepted by other scientists of his time. Thirdly, Mendel's approach of using mathematics, like he used the probability of fusion of gametes in Punnett square to explain biological phenomena, was totally new and unacceptable to many of the biologists of his time. And finally, Mendel could not provide any physical proof for the existence of factors because microscopes were not invented at his time. In 1900, 3 scientists, De Vries, Correns, and von Schirmacher, independently rediscovered Mendel's results on the inheritance of characters. Also by this time, due to advancements in microscopy, scientists were able to carefully observe cell division. This led to the discovery of chromosomes in the nucleus that appeared to double and divide just before each cell division. By 1902, scientists were able to observe chromosome movement also during meiosis. 2 more scientists, Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri, noted that the behavior of chromosomes was parallel to the behavior of Mendel's factors or genes, and they used the chromosome movement to explain Mendel's laws. Sutton and Boveri observed that, like the genes or factors, chromosomes also occur in pairs. The 2 alleles of a gene pair are located on homologous sites on the homologous chromosome. As you can see in this picture, capital R is present on one chromosome and small r is present on another chromosome of the homologous pair. So Sutton and Boveri observed that Mendel's factors or the genes are present on the homologous pairs of chromosomes. Based on their observations, Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri proposed chromosomal theory of inheritance. According to this theory, there is a parallelism, that is similarity in the behavior of Mendel's factors and chromosomes. Like Mendel's factors occur in pairs, chromosomes also occur in homologous pairs. Like Mendel's factors segregate during gamete formation, chromosomes also separate during gamete formation. Like Mendel's factors are assorted independently during gamete formation, similarly, chromosomes are assorted independently during gamete formation. So there is a similarity in the behavior of Mendel's factors and chromosomes. This similarity is because Mendel's factors or genes are present on the chromosomes itself. The chromosomal theory of inheritance was experimentally verified by Thomas Hunt Morgan and his colleagues. Morgan worked with the tiny fruit flies Drosophila melanogaster, which were found very suitable for such studies. Why Thomas Hunt Morgan selected Drosophila for his experiments? Let's discuss. Drosophila could be easily grown on simple synthetic medium in the laboratory. They complete their life cycle in about 2 weeks, so results were obtained within 2 weeks. A single mating could produce about 200 to 400 progeny flies. There was a clear differentiation of the sexes. The male and female flies are easily distinguishable. Drosophila has many types of hereditary variations in eye color, body color, and type of wings that can be seen with low power microscopes.